Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night. I'm Blackbright, and I was I woke up this morning. Well, there's a series of things that have been going on actually in the news and around to do with black and white and all this fora to do with people getting shot. And we've noticed England, they're talking about, they've just recognised that there's racism in the papers and I kind of wondered, when did I realise I was black? And a lot of people will take it for granted that, being born in a white country, that you automatically know that you're different. But it's just like children. If you put children together to play together, regardless of what colour their friends are, they don't notice that difference. They just get on and they gravitate to whoever makes them feel good. And that doesn't and race doesn't come into that. Now, I've said in previous videos that I was raised up in a foster home. And in that foster home, I think there were people of different colours. I think it was majority white. But I did know that I do remember there being a black boy there who was much younger than me. It's a funny noise, isn't it? Anyway, so what I remember up until junior school, I didn't know that I was different from any of the other children in the foster home. When I was about 6, I think, I went back to live with my mum. Even then, it didn't dawn on me that we were different. My mum used to say to me that they used to put letters through her box because she went to live on an all-white street. And she said they put letters in her box and saying, go back to your jungle, go and eat your kitty cat. And she said she just ignored it. And she said, over the years, she's been there for over 50 years. And, all those people who put those letters in her box have now moved on. She's still there. It's still a majority white street, but, she's now been accepted as a part of the furniture, so to speak. But where am I going with this? People take it for granted that everybody knows that they're different. But they only know that they're different when they've been made to feel different. That's why people who grow up in like Africa, the Caribbean, the West Indies, I know in both countries you still have the colorism, you still have the lighter shades of black and the darker shades of black. But by and large, you're surrounded by black people and you just take it on that you're black. And I don't even think they take it on as a colour. It's other people that make it an issue and make us recognise that we're different. Like I said, with children, they don't know no different. So I went to live with my mum, and so that was an all black surrounding. But I wasn't thinking, the people in this house are different from the people in the foster home. They're different colours. That never came into the equation. It's only when I went to school, I went to an all-white, well, I have to say it was all-white school because I was the only black girl in there up until the age of 14, I think. 14, 15, I was the only black girl there. And I gravitated toward, I couldn't gravitate towards anybody else, but I wasn't treated any differently. My friends were white, and that is all I knew. Wasn't until I reached 15, I think. We had some black girls come into the school, and they were the ones that made me recognise that I was different. They were the ones that said, you're a traitor. They're the ones that said, do you think you're white? They're the ones that drew my attention to my colour. And it's most bizarre. And since that moment when I recognised I was different, it's a bit like, when Eve gave the apple to Adam and before they went into the garden, they didn't realise they were naked. It's that same principle. I did not know I was black until somebody drew it to my attention. And it happened to be my fellow black colleagues or peers or students or pupils, whatever you want to call them, not white people. So that's not to say that anything was right or wrong. It's just that people take it for granted that the world is made up of differences, and it is, but it's not. It doesn't have to be a negative. And when people are talking about racism and colour and the differences and stuff, it's about embracing that, because if nobody drew it to your attention that people were different, you would accept people. But we've been indoctrinated. We get indoctrinated in so many different ways. And so many, like when I was changed because they mocked me and they pushed me over. I don't know if they beat me up, but I remember falling to the floor. It wasn't harsh, it was kids, but the same token, it made me draw attention to myself. It made me look at myself in a different light from that day. And from that day, you start noticing things. You start noticing that it's an unfair world, that there are differences. I remember when I was working in Hammersmith, and I remember crossing a road and these guys shouted out, "Get out of the way, nigger." And I thought to myself, it was really terrifying. It was a terrifying thought. And, racism is ugly. It really is ugly. And treating people differently based on their race is ugly, it's unfair, and it's uncalled for. And it's not necessary. 2018, you must know by now that we're all the same, but just with different shades. You must know that by now. So why the constant reminder that we're different? Why this constant gloating over our past and what we went through? What is that about? Why do we have to be reminded constantly, day by day, that we're different and in most cases inferior, when we're not? We're all the same. Given the same level playing field, we'd all be the same. Sometimes we achieve in certain things, sometimes we don't. We all have our area of specialties. So, yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I just felt like spouting off. Okay then. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.